Assignment 14, Novel, Animal Farm, Chapter 7 and 8. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope you're fine and studying hard too. Today we will do novel, which is Animal Farm. First of all, the sight words, which you have to repeat after me. Sleet, envious, rejoice, starvation, infanticide, decreed, capitulated, coccidiosis, unanimously, blood curdling, pervading, menacing, traitor, categorically, lurking, frisking, shivers, countenance, confessions, executions, retribution, treachery, trumpeter, surmounted, negotiations, clamored, cowardice, bewilderment, exaggerated, conciliatory, contemptible, vengeance, ferociously, lamentation. So, you already know after rebellion, Snowball and Napoleon never agrees on anything. Snowball wants to build a windmill which will provide electricity to the farm, but as always, Napoleon is against him. Napoleon has become the new leader after driving Snowball out of the farm by his secret army, the 9 dogs. The animal now have to follow whatsoever the pigs say. Sunday meetings are not happening anymore. The pigs have started to secretly change the commandments as well, according to their own need. Alright, so now we will start with chapter 7. Work continues on the windmill through the bitter winter because the animals want to prove themselves to the humans who doubt them. These same humans say that the windmill collapsed because the walls were too thin, but the animals continue to believe Snowball is responsible. However, they also decide to rebuild the windmill with thicker walls, which means they need more stones. Collecting the stone in winter weather is slow and difficult, impeding their progress. Only Boxer and Clover, with their unshakable work ethic, keep up the animal spirit. Other problems abound. In January, an improperly planted potato crop fails, leaving the farm with a severe food shortage. Despite near starvation, Napoleon and the animals work frenetically to conceal the storage from the outside world. Rumors of famine are already circulating among the humans, so confirming these rumors would put the farm in danger. The animals are instructed to talk about increased rations when Mr. Wimper is around. Still, Napoleon makes arrangements to sell more of the hen's eggs so the farm can buy grain to make up for the shortfall in their stores. Wanting their eggs to become chicks, the hens rebel, laying their eggs in the henhouse rafters so they fall to the floor and break. Napoleon responds by withholding the hens' rations, but their resistance still lasts for 5 days. 9 hens die of starvation, but Napoleon makes sure the other animals are told that they died of a disease. Although Snowball has not been cited directly, rumors swirl that he is hiding on either Pilkington's or Frederick's farm, depending on which farmer Napoleon is leaning towards doing business with or not at any given time. Later, the pig claim Snowball has been returning to the farm at night to cause mischief, stealing corns, upsetting milk piles, eating bark of fruit trees. All the bad things that happen are blamed on Snowball, even if the true cause becomes apparent later. Eventually, Squealer announces Snowball has sold himself to Frederick and says Snowball was always in league with the humans, even fighting for Jones at the Battle of Cowshell. Later, Napoleon uses the threat of Snowball to eliminate some of his enemies. During a meeting, he sends his dogs after the four pigs who questions his trade plans and the hens that have rebelled over the eggs, and a few other animals who confess to working with Snowball. All of these animals are executed immediately. This violence stuns the other animals, especially Clover. After the executions, she and the other animals gather on a knoll where the windmill stood in an attempt to confront themselves. The animals try to sing Beasts of England, but Squealer tells them the song is now banned, replaced with a new song swearing allegiance to Animal Farm. Okay, that's the end of chapter 7. Now the questions from chapter 7. How is the new windmill constructed differently? What does Squealer announce about the Battle of Cowshed? What happens at the meeting in the yard? What do the animals do after the meeting in the yard? Why does Squealer say Beasts of England has been outlawed or banned? Alright, we will move towards chapter 8 now. After the executions, the animals question away from the pigs and dogs whether these events fall in the line of with the 7 commandments. They think they remember one of the commandments stating that no animal shall kill another animal. After some investigation, Muriel the goat reads the commandment on the wall aloud, and they discover it actually reads, "No animal shall kill another animal without cause." The animals decide these two words justify the execution of the apparent traitors, since their actions gave Napoleon cause. The general condition for the animals continued to be harsh, as the workload of rebuilding the windmill and regular farm duties requires additional efforts. As the workload of rebuilding the windmill and the regular farm duties requires additional effort. Although the animals believe they are getting no more food than they did under Mr. Jones, Squealer presents weekly numbers that seem to prove they are actually getting more food and are better off. At this point, Squealer is doing most of Napoleon's public speaking. Napoleon has isolated himself in the farmhouse, away from even the other pigs, and rarely appears in public. When 3 hens confess to plotting to assassinate Napoleon in summer, he becomes even more isolated, adds more guard dogs, and gets a food taster. The hens are executed, the pigs circulate poems and songs praising Napoleon as a savior and protector of all animals. Napoleon's negotiations with the other farms become more complicated as he plans to sell a pile of timber to either Pilkington or Frederick. Frederick wants the timber but won't meet Napoleon's price, so Napoleon announces plans to sell to Pilkington and spread rumors about Frederick's plan to attack the farm. Other rumors circulate about Frederick's cruelty to his animals, which makes the animals want to attack his farm and overthrow him. But Squealer advises them against rash action. More misfortunes, including the appearance of weeds in the wheat crop, continue to be blamed on Snowball, still said to be hiding on Frederick's farm. A gander who says he knew that Snowball mixed weed seeds in with the wheat confesses and commits suicide. The pigs revise the story of the Battle of Cowshed again, this time to reveal Snowball's active cowardice. After all of these rumors and stories, the animals are shocked to learn that Napoleon has sold the timber of wood to Frederick and had been negotiating with Frederick in secret all along. He spread the stories about selling to Pilkington only to get Frederick to meet his price. The rumors about Frederick's farm likely came from Snowball, who apparently is actually hiding on Pilkington's farm. Once they hear the whole story, the animals are proud of Napoleon's negotiations and also impressed that he is savvy enough to demand cash payment instead of a check. With the windmill finished and the timber sold, the machinery for the windmill can be purchased and all their dreams can come true. However, 3 days after the sale, Mr. Whymper tells Napoleon that Frederick's money is counterfeit and he has cheated them all. Napoleon pronounces a death sentence on Frederick and prepares for an attack. That next morning, the animals are outmatched and the men have guns. The animals send a message to Pilkington, who refuses to help. The battle culminates when Frederick and his men blow up the finished windmill. The animals who have retreated are outraged by this act and counterattack vigorously, suffering casualties but driving the humans from the farm. The pigs declare a victory and hold a ceremony celebrating what they call the Battle of Windmill. The animals, however, are crushed by the loss of the windmill and don't understand why pigs want to celebrate. Squealer convinces them that the battle is a triumph because the animals held on to the farm, but they are not fully convinced until Napoleon speaks to them. The fallen animals are given a funeral and the rest of the animals receive extra ration. After a few days of the battle, the pigs discover whiskey in the farmhouse and drink it. The morning after, the pigs announce Comrade Napoleon is dying, but he seems to feel better by evening. That night, the animals hear a noise in the barn and find Squealer unconscious on the ground next to a ladder and a paint can. One of the 7 commandments now read, no animal shall drink alcohol to excess. Alright, that's the end of chapter 8. Now question answers from chapter 8. What happens to the commandments about killing other animals? How does Mr. Frederick betray Napoleon? Why don't the animals initially feel victorious after the battle? What is really wrong with Napoleon when the pigs report that he's dying? What does the commandment say against drinking alcohol? Okay. Alright, now it's our homework time. Right? As you know, you have to answer the questions given at the end of every chapter. So do go through the chapters and you will find the answers of these questions. Your second home task is to write the character sketch of Mr. Jones and Benjamin. Okay, I've already told you how to write a character sketch, so you can watch that video again and write your character sketches. Alright, that's the end of our today's video. I'm sure your curiosities have been risen at what will happen next. Inshallah, I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care of yourself and your family. Stay home, stay safe, and stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.